a week, we discuss how stress affects our health and learn how to cope our stress in daily life. Today we are going to talk about a good way to reduce our life stress and maintain a good quality of life and well-being. Do you know what it is? Eating, sleeping, shopping, chatting, or playing games all day. Pretty good. Doing these things may help us feel better, but just for a while. It can relieve our stress quite often. Any other options? I heard someone said doing yoga. That's right. Today's topic is yoga. Research indicates that after a few weeks of practicing yoga, you will start to notice your body and mind starting to become relaxed and comfortable. Therefore, I will focus on the issue of benefits of yoga for body and mind. Next, let's move on to the ends of this course. After this course, I hope you will be able to define yoga and clearly describe the origins, philosophy, and main practice of yoga. Next, you will learn how to practice yoga relaxation techniques. After that, I want you to try to evaluate and be aware of your own self, body, and mind. Then don't forget, give me your feedback. Finally, before the end of this course, I will summarize the benefits of yoga for body and mind. Hopefully, it can help you dealing with your daily stress. Then you can be happier and healthier.
Okay, let's take a look at the origins of yoga. The beginnings of yoga were developed by the Indus Sarasvati civilization in northern India over 5,000 years ago. The ancient India people observed how animals adapt to life in nature and learn how they breathe effectively, how they eat and move for good digestion, while sleeping and overcome disease. Then they started to create a series of exercise and breath technique systems that benefit the mind and body. So we just briefly mention when and where yoga comes from and how it created by ancient India civilization. If you will, here is the link for better understanding of the origins, history, and development of yoga. Let's move on the definition of yoga. How do we attempt to define or delimited this term, this practice, this discipline called yoga? I'm sure most of you have some intuitive sense of what yoga means to you. Whether you are a beginner or a skillful practitioner, or you've read some of the yoga literature. But what is yoga? Now, I want you to share your thoughts on the term yoga. So, let's do a little activity. Please scan the QR code or click on the link, then answer the question. Please type one or two keywords that comes to your mind when you think of yoga. Please feel free to type in Chinese or English. Well done. Thank you for your quick response. Here we can see in the slide what you think about yoga or doing yoga. Yoga seems to be beneficial for most of you. Okay, let's move on to the second activity. I want you to try to define yoga. Group 4, please, and discuss the following question. Question number 1. How long have you been doing yoga, or you've never practiced it? Please share your experience and thoughts with others. Are you finished? Okay. Question number 2. Are these terms valid to define yoga? Yes or no? Why? Please share your reason with others. Finally, can you try to define yoga or explain what yoga is? For example, yes, both meditation and relax are useful to define yoga because after meditation, I feel so relaxed. Yoga is a great relaxation technique. Okay, good job. Let's move on to your answer. What is yoga? Is it meditation? Is it series of posture? Is it a great relaxation technique? Is it sequence stretching and breathing? How about mind body therapy to improve mental and physical health? Or is it a spiritual discipline, religion, a technique for transcending the world? Indeed, yoga is not just one of these. It is all of these and more than these things. So, think about it. How can this one word yoga express so many things? Therefore, it is not easy to define yoga. Besides our intuitive sense and experience of yoga, any other approach helps to describe and explain what yoga is. Well, let's turn out to the word yoga itself in the Sanskrit root yuj. The word yoga comes from the Sanskrit root yuj, which means to bind, harness, to connect, or to concentrate. Secondly, the word yoga is connected with the English word yoke. Yoga 和英文字 yoke 同源，称作轭，意思是用来驾驭牛马的工具，也可作为动词，也就是用轭将两头牛拴在一起。轭也是将两个事物结合在一起，或是将注意力集中并固定在特定的对象上。如果两边的力量不一致，就无法达到和谐的状态。之后，从 yoke 这个动词的字根衍生出 yoga 这个名词形式。Yoga connect with any stuff, environment, universe, and God. Yoga 指的是和事物、环境、宇宙以及和神合为一的状态。而之后的 Yoga 就有了更广泛的定义：设备、食谱、方法、策略、咒语、纪律、应用、努力、联合、安排、 热情、关心、勤奋，都可以用 yoga 来指称这些事物。Next, let's look at the earlier definition of yoga in Sanskrit. 我们来看早期梵文文本对瑜伽所做的解释。Yoga is the stilling of the fluctuation of the mind. 就是静心凝神，从波动的状态当中静止。Yoga is the union of the self and the Lord. 瑜伽作为内在自我、灵魂和神的结合。Next, yoga is skill in action. 瑜伽是一种操作、练习的技能。Finally, yoga is the direct means to perceive reality. 瑜伽作为一种直接手段来感知、理解宇宙或生命的本相。Here we can see the same word yoga is defined in various ways, but a yoga researcher argued that yoga could be broadly conceived of in two ways. The first two definitions both are referring to yoga as a particular state of our goal. The stilling of the turning of the mind, or the union between the self and God. These other two can be conceived of as yoga as discipline, practice, or an action, or yoga is the skillful means to perceive ultimate reality. Broadly speaking, we can see the word yoga being used to refer either to the state or goal of yoga, or the discipline and practice itself. Furthermore, researchers define yoga as the following. Through yoga practice, the state of yoga is to be known. That state of yoga arises from the practice of yoga. In other words, yoga is used to signify a form of connection. The experience of concentration is a state of yoga, a joyful and blissful, fulfilling experience. So, what is the primary discipline or practice of yoga? Then we can, through these disciplines or techniques, achieve the goal of yoga. Yoga practice include posture, breathing, cleansing the body and mind, civilizations, chanting of monks, and many forms of meditation. Therefore, the understanding, origins, definition, and philosophy of yoga, I encourage you to create your own perspective and then redefine yoga. Choose the appropriate and your preferred yoga technique. By doing these techniques with deep breathing, you can perceive the state of yoga as a joyful, blissful, fulfilling experience. So we can refer to the state of yoga as the purpose of doing yoga, including improving physical and mental health. The picture here shows the benefits of yoga for the body and mind. The left-hand side shows that doing yoga can receive our muscle mass, prevent heart disease and be good for our bones and joints. It also helps us to lose weight and become more comfortable. Also, yoga is suitable for brain function, lets us sleep better, increases positive emotion and decreases negative mood, and allowed us to live happier life. As we mentioned earlier, yoga is not just one of these. It is all of these and more than these things. What other benefits or values can yoga bring to you? Pursue higher level technique, become strong or more beautiful, prevent aging. Get the answer by exploring life and being aware of yourself. Today, we learn yoga's origins, definition, philosophy, and benefits. Next week, we will practice the yoga relaxation technique and then learn to evaluate and be aware of our body and minds. Thank you for your time. See you next time. Bye bye.